boys on the TV screen talking about that bourbon and them other shiny things. The smoke hangs heavy around the room, the glasses start to clink. My trouble's drifting down the drain, I try my best not to think. Just the sound of my good buddies laughing at the joke. The stories flowing from our lips beneath the bourbon smoke. Yeah, the Thursday night blues are calling my name. Pour another glass, put out the work week's flame. Got the boys on the TV screen talking about that bourbon and them other shiny things. Some folks chase the money, some chase a different kind of thrill. But all I want on a Thursday night is to let this old heart be still. Just a little bit of amber liquid and a few good souls to share. Knowing come tomorrow morning we'll still be standing there. Yeah, the Thursday night blues are calling my name. Pour another glass, put out the work week's flame. Got the boys on the TV screen talking about that bourbon and them other shiny things. Yeah, Bourbon and Ballz, pouring out that bourbon till the bottle's gone. And the Friday sun rises. That's a Thursday night blue. I'm drinking with my friends. Yeah, we know it's early, but we can't wait for the weekend. We're in a hurry, cause we're thirsty again, but we're not worried when we're saying what we mean and what we meant. Honest camaraderie is something like the lottery. So all I ask and all I need are years of making memories. So keep on chasing highs, so damn easy, don't think twice. Chasing highs. Another birthday and you spotted some gray ends, but nothing changes cause you know how Thursdays spin. You had the worst day and you needed time to vent, so you call the boys up and you'll see them there at 8. Honestly, camaraderie is something like the lottery. So all I ask.
Oh my God, that's Weller. Knows that. Good God. Man, he just something died. Holy,
That's bad. What did they feed him today, dude? I thought you. Oh,
good. You can't even breathe in here. Oh, that's gonna throw a nosing off. Oh my God, I can't even.
I can reach out. That could be one of our things we do. You know, we're talking about doing these commercials or these ads or these videos for these different products. I can reach out to a manufacturer that makes them today, get one, and you do the video. And sit there and go, oh. I'm riding the bike and going.
Put the glitter in my hand. I'm starting to become immune to press. This doesn't even bother me anymore.
That's right.
Oh. I'm like, that smells pretty good.
Yeah, we know it's early, but we can't wait for the weekend. Let's get on with the show with you all, with our friends from Bourbon and Ballz. Enjoy the show and have a great weekend. Hey! Keep on chasing highs.
There's shit everywhere.
All right, there we go.
here we go.
A new pregame.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Hey,
my bad.
everybody.
Hold on a second. Tyler's not here today. Hold on.
Oh, don't blame Tyler not being here for your responsibility.
Yeah.
Our viewers are here.
Should have been hashtag not Tyler's not here. So should have been.
Crispy
Hey,
Roman.
Congratulations.
All right, there we go. There we go. All right, very good. So, welcome to a special edition of Bourbon and Ballz tonight. We usually, obviously, we always go on Thursdays, and we plan on doing that. Going on Thursday. We have Bard Distilling on Thursday.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that more later. But nevertheless, the guest we have on tonight deserves a special night. We do have Nancy Fraley on tonight, so I will have her on here in a little bit. In the meantime, we will go through chat, say hello to everybody, and then go through a few reminders. It's very light on the news because we'll save a lot of it for Thursday.
Yep.
Real quick though, patrons, if you haven't done so already, make sure you put your Derby horses in. I already put mine in.
Okay.
I know. I mean, I can't win anything, but
Right. You're still putting it in anyway?
Yes.
All right.
See if I can,
I'll throw my hat in the ring.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know I could do it.
Yeah. So put your make sure you get your Derby guy in there. The murder mystery is out. All 4 clues are out. That is also due by Thursday by game time. And then we'll announce the winner for that. Also, Thursday is the last day of the month, which means that is the last day to get in on the monthly drawing for patrons. So if you're considering joining, Thursday is the last day to do that. It also gets you other things than just the monthly drawing, higher tiers, yada yada. Get you opportunity for barrel picks, things of that nature, t-shirts,
Glasses.
some other trinkets.
Glasses and with a Bourbon and Ballz glass.
Mm-mm. Do you read the Patreon though?
Oh, okay.
I love it when you do that. I absolutely love it when you do that.
I didn't read it. I'm sorry.
But hey,
I'm sorry.
It may.
Yes. So, anyways, reason being because we're out of classes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we gave away the classes the first wave.
All right.
And we're out.
They're
So
super cool though.
yeah, thank you, Jeff. Though
I'm sorry.
We've been asking about them.
So, anyways, Bourbon and Ballz hat is on bourbonandballs.com. The link is up there. So I would encourage you guys, if you guys are interested, please go ahead and fill that out. And we'll get that out to you guys. I think that is it. That's a short. It'll be a short night for $27. Do you know what Apple did?
What?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take it out for Patreon, actually. Use the Google Form sheet that's on bourbonandballs.com. Don't use the Patreon. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you use the Patreon through your Apple, it goes from a $27 hat, and this is not us doing it, $27 hat to a $39 hat.
What?
Apple charges, they take a $12 upcharge cut. Yeah.
Wow.
For doing what?
I guess using their app. That's their app store fee.
Dang, that's an
So,
expensive transaction.
there were some problems doing that, so I created a Google Forms and went back to old school stuff. So, and I just put the link in the bourbonandballs.com. Just press the link, and we'll just order it old school.
Don't they
I try to make it
do,
easier.
Problem solver.
I know, I try to make it easier for
No,
everybody, but then
Yeah,
I
save
charge it.
money. Yeah, you don't
End up
want
charging $12. I'm like, screw that.
don't
So,
they do the same thing? Like if you like go through Patreon, they charge you an additional fee for the Patreon. through the
Patreon's not
app?
bad though. Patreon only charges the minimal fees. I don't mind.
Is that
that
what
at
it is?
all.
Okay.
But, Apple, YouTube, you all.
Yeah.
yeah.
cut out the middleman.
It'd be nice if we went live through Patreon. I don't know if you can do that or not.
You
but-
can.
Yeah, but then it's only the Patreon people.
Right. Unless,
So.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, very good. Let's go. Brian Callahan, cheers to you.
Brian.
Thanks for coming on. Still at work, but we'll be listening to.
Thanks, brother.
You know what we're going to ask? That reminds me. On Thursday, remember that computer I fried last year?
Yeah.
Were you here for that?
I wasn't. I heard all
You
about
remember.
it.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
It still works.
Okay.
if you plug in an external keyboard, because the keyboard is fried.
Mhm.
I'm going to give that computer to Tyler.
Okay.
And then he can start doing some editing and learn he's interested in doing that stuff. But I'm also going to teach him how to take our live streams and put it in Spotify.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we have a Spotify account.
Right.
Like, there's a Bourbon and Balls thing, and I had to wipe them all out because
Yeah.
it's a long story. But anyways,
Yeah.
so
What do you do?
we're going to give Tyler some more work to do other than his Thursday.
Oh, like
He just
doesn't
doesn't
have
know.
enough.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. He's playing hooky again tonight.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
he's
gonna
got
be a
other
common
obligations.
occurrence.
He can never do Tuesday.
I get
So I'm
it, right?
producing tonight. So, all right, Gandy Road, cheers to you, buddy.
Andy,
Saturday was a
welcome,
fun time. As a matter of fact, when we went down to Glens Creek, we got everybody's bottles. We're gonna get those ready to get shipped to you guys. Some of you guys got the Old Rick Hazmat, the American White Whiskey.
Mm.
Yeah.
Some of you guys got the Good Times Pecan Pie. So those things will get out to you guys soon.
Okay.
While we're down there, I'm sorry, we went down to Chris Blankenship called me and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "As a matter of fact, we're going down." He kind of knew. I said, "Why don't you swing by Louisville on the way back up?" Which wasn't that bad, right?
Yeah. It's just
So we stopped by and saw
24 minutes.
Kurt and Trenton from SLB
at
at that Pursuit United
nice.
at that famous barrel pick that we are going to do.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember I asked people if they want to go on a barrel
Who
pick?
wants to go on a barrel pick with SLB?
and I misread the email. And actually, it was a pick release.
a pick release for
Up to 75 people can be invited. And it dawned on me, and I was kind of confused as far as when I was asking everybody if they want to go on the barrel pick in this group chat. I'm like, man, 75 people, that's a lot of people for a barrel pick. And then Chris Blankenship was in that same group chat. He corrected me. It's like, no, man, it's a pick release. So anyways, it was last Saturday.
Gotcha.
We went talked to Kurt and Trenton, and we're going to see them in a month at the golf outing.
Yep.
I had Trenton try the Old Rick.
Ooh, what do
He
you
would,
think?
oh yeah, he
loved it?
liked that a lot.
You guys had some more Old Rick down there too.
We had some. Well, we only had like 3 bottles.
Okay.
Only, that wasn't gonna mention it, but
Oh.
I'll gotta mention it. But when I went down there, I asked them if they had an Old Rick. Man, you're like Jeff.
All right.
Like there's certain things that.
All right. Never mind.
But anyway, no, we can talk about it. So I asked them if they had the barrel left, and they said, "Well, let's go look." And you could shake it, and there was like maybe 3 bottles in their tops. So I ended up getting one, and someone else got one, and then the person that was around us, some customer got one. But anyways, it's the bottom of the barrel Old Rick is what we're going to call it, or we're going to call it Old Rick Enhanced. Same barrel.
Did they
Dude,
do
Get
the
all the
did they do the
charge
Glens
straight
Creek?
out.
method, or is it?
Dude, it's like you know how Glens Creek, yeah, it's almost, it tastes like a hand filtered.
Yeah.
It's just extremely enhanced.
Wow.
It is good.
I can
So
imagine.
anyway, I got a bottle over here.
All right, let's keep moving.
All right,
He's,
so yeah.
he's hiding it from us.
All right, very good. Gerald Romine, cheers to you.
Jerry.
Thanks for coming on. Jerry. Let's see here. We got Gary McDonald. He's coming over Thursday, by the way.
Oh, he is?
I don't know if he wants to come on the show, but he's more than welcome to.
Sweet,
He's gonna come by and
man.
hang out
Long time no
in the
see.
basement.
Cool. Yeah, come on over. Share some pours with us, brother.
Yeah. So Gary McDonald will be here. I don't know if he'll be like I said in front of the camera, but he's more than welcome to. Let's see here. We got Harold McAdory. Cheers to you, buddy. I hope everybody's recovered from Spillway. I think they are. Mike Mikowski. Cheers to you. Yes, I've been looking forward to this one. He says, so have we. This has been a long time coming. East Coast Whiskey Sippers. Cheers to you. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you always. Lip Service Crew. Thank you for coming on. Torp, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Cheers to you. Chad, Bourbon Lover. Cheers to you, buddy. Thanks for coming on. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, please go ahead and do so. Mr. Richie J, cheers to you. Darren, cheers to you.
Duran.
I'm gonna go back to Darren. I like Darren better. Cheers to you, West Virginia Bourbon Guy. Cheers to you, buddy. Tom Black.
Tom.
Him over at Spillway. That was awesome. Cheers to you. We also have. Let's see here. I guess that Mr. Richie J. If I didn't say that already, and Mrs. Laura J.
Yeah, Mike.
We got Mike. Yeah. Alan Adams. Cheers to you, buddy. You got some stuff coming your way as well. Let's see here. We got Jim Turner. Cheers to you.
That's a new name. Welcome.
Give him a Bourbon and Balls welcome.
Hey, Jim. Welcome,
Say hello to Jim, please. Mr. Sean Conlon. Cheers to you, buddy. Thanks for coming on. C.A. Scotty. Cheers to you. Thanks for coming on. I don't even know where C.A. Scotty is. I don't know if he's on land or on sea. So cheers to you wherever you're at. Mr. David Tanko. The best jerky in the world. Thanks for you for doing that. But cheers to you. Mr. Volgasing, cheers to you. Thanks for coming on. Bradley, is that Booper?
Booper, yeah.
Cheers to you.
Yeah,
That's a new one.
welcome.
Thanks for coming on. And everybody could give him a Bourbon and Balls welcome. Frank, one of our newest patrons, cheers to you, buddy. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Jenny Bukowski, cheers to you. Thanks for coming on.
Jeremy Monroe. That's a new one.
Jeremy
too.
Monroe, he's been on a few times. Thanks for coming back. Cheers to you. We also have, my eyes are so bad.
Glasses in front of you, dude.
I know these are for reading glasses. That does me no good.
Brad.
Buddy, what's going on, brother? Cheers to you. Welcome back, Patrick Littledew. Cheers to you. When he submits his horse pick, I'm just gonna cheat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that to actually bet.
You're gonna ride his
No, I'm gonna use that to actually bet. So
You're gonna try and tie him?
No. I'm talking about for real betting.
Oh, for real.
Yeah, for real. I'll bet a few bucks.
Okay.
So anyways, that being said, moving on, we got, let's see here.
Whiskey Bill.
Cheers to you, buddy. You got things coming your way. Appreciate it. Chrissy Romine, the winner of today's drawing.
Pregame.
Yeah. Cheers to you. We also have Vinny.
Hey, Vinny.
Cheers to you. Now I don't have to say FHLRT. It's Vinny. Cheers to you. Thank you for coming on. We also have Tracy Siliorki. Cheers to you. Thanks for coming on. Zach. Oh, owe him a book, and his last day is on Friday.
Uh-oh.
I know. So
okay.
I cannot forget. All right. Cheers to you, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Let's see here. We're getting to the bottom there, Nancy, and we'll get to here shortly.
Hang with us.
Rick Moreland, cheers, buddy. Thanks again for giving us that hazmat pour. That bottle is really good. Kelly Morgan, cheers to you.
Hey, Kelly.
Thanks for coming on. Let's see here.
Brian Callahan was up there.
Yeah, he was the very first one.
Number one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the very first one.
Number one
CTE.
stunner.
So, all right.
What?
Chris Barlow, buddy. Cheers to you, man.
Hey, Chris.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you. We have, let's see here. Sweet Cindy.
Sweet Cindy.
Nice. Cheers to you. Appreciate you coming on. Let's see here. I think we're getting Mustang 653.
That's new.
Cheers to
Welcome.
Cheers.
We have Nancy in chat. feel free. And we're going to bring up the questions, just as always, guys. When we have a guest on, if you have a question for Nancy, which I'm sure you do, please start it with the letter Q. It's easy for me to find it in the chat, and then we'll post it on the screen and ask Nancy.
Well, there's Whitney. Hey, Whitney.
Hey, buddy. Whitney, we're going to see him next month, brother.
Venus?
At the golf outing.
Yeah, hopefully you can help Charlie out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Venus the penis. Who?
Whoa.
Hey.
All right.
Venus.
Venus. All right, Venus.
Welcome.
We're just gonna say Venus. Venus, cheers to you, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
That's fantastic.
That is awesome. CJB, Corey, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
Rip and sips.
Yeah. And then there's Venus again.
I'm your fan.
That's a good name.
Anyways, I swear. I think we're getting through the end, and then we can get the show.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff. I didn't say hi to him. Martin Cox, cheers, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Mr. Chris Blankenship, cheers for you. Nice seeing you last week.
Mr. Only Drams.
Yes, Mr. Only Drams. We need to bring him back on one day to kind of go over it again. Okanagave, cheers to you. Thank you for coming on. Man, I keep on seeing Venus. All right, so, all right, without further ado,
Only in your dreams.
let's get to what we all came here for. Let's welcome the one and I don't know even how to do the. I'm gonna mess up the intro, so we're just gonna bring her on stage.
Yeah.
The incomparable.
Totally
Yes.
honest.
All right, Nancy.
Hey.
How you doing?
Welcome.
I'm doing okay. I hope everyone else is too this evening. And my apologies. I might need to. The reception out in my office is not that great, so I might need to move to my house a little bit later or inside. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, the sound looks great. The sound here, it sounds great. The video is good, and I think we're ready to roll if you are. So
all right. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I mean, we've always seen you on other channels, and we definitely enjoy those things. And it's nice for you to make your rounds away around to Bourbon and Ballz, and I appreciate you doing that. So I don't even know where we would start.
You're joining us from California, is that right? Nancy?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What area of California you live in?
I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, so I'm over in the East Bay in Berkeley. So yeah, I've got my windows open, enjoying the sunshine right now, and nice breeze going on.
So let's go ahead and start from the beginning, if you don't mind. There are some people, believe it or not, in the chat that may not know enough about you, and for those who do not,
Shame.
Yeah, shame on you. But let's go ahead and entertain them anyways, Nancy, and let's tell them as far as from the beginning, as far as how you enter the world of whiskey.
Wow. I mean, like, just how far back do you want me to go?
Well, we're on for a little while, so you do whatever you like.
6 years old at my dad's wedding to my stepmother. I had my first Jack and Coke. That qualifies. I told my aunt, my dad was a big Jack and Coke drinker, as I love bourbon and Coke too, but I told my aunt that I thought I had a Coca-Cola that had alcohol in it, and she said, "Oh no, honey, that's right where you left your Coke." So I took that as an official okay to buy an adult. Anyway, yeah. So it goes back a ways. I didn't get into the well. Let me backtrack a little bit. I've been in this industry for 20 years. I'm trained as a lawyer, and but before that, I got a master's from Harvard in Tibetan Buddhism or Buddhist studies. I was going to go on for a PhD in that world. And long story short, I ended up not doing that. And law is kind of the family business, and it just wasn't really what I wanted to do, I guess. And I had gone to a fundraiser, I want to say like 2005 or so, and I got to try these craft brandies that were made by a 10th generation cognac maker that had come to California in the early 1980s. And I mean, I know it sounds so cliche, but that taste literally changed the course of my life. I mean, I quit the law firm I was working at, traveled around the world, started studying distillation and fermentation, such, and became really interested in that. And a year later, I was working at the Bourbon brandy distillery up in a couple of 2 hours north of me, and that changed my life. So anyway, I continued to study French techniques in France. I go about once a year and so study more. So anyway, so I kind of what makes me a little different from other blenders or distillers in the American whiskey space is that I have French training. So as I always like to say, I make bourbon the French way, it's informed by those centuries old production techniques. So for people that may not know me, just a few highlights of my career. You've got on the table there. I didn't create the first cigar blend, period. I mean, that's been around for about 35 or 40 years, but I did create the world's first cigar blend bourbon 10 years ago. And I've brought techniques like when people hear about slow water reduction out there in the bourbon world, well, that's probably someone that took one of my classes or has been studying with me on some level. So anyway, I mean, there's a little more to it. That's kind of
slow water reduction to a lot of people. What is slow water reduction for those who are asking?
Yeah, so slow water reduction is it's a method of proofing. So when you're going, if you're not going to release a product at its natural cask strength, and you're going from bottling strength down to, from barrel strength down to bottling strength, you have to, add water to it some way. And the way that it's usually done in the traditional, we'll say kind of Kentucky, Indiana bourbon world is to harvest your barrels, put them into a stainless tank, and in one session, like in one day, you go from the barrel strength down to the bottling strength, and then you bottle that whiskey. Slow water reduction. It's an old, probably centuries old French technique. It happens when the whole purpose of it is to prevent what's called saponification, and that's when you have a lot of fatty acids in your spirit, and if you don't allow the water molecules and the fatty acids and the alcohol molecules to bond properly, it essentially turns to soap. So, and you have to do that for like a product like brandy that has a lot of fat in it. You have to do it, but even if you're making bourbon and you're not quite as worried about the fatty acids, although bourbon can saponify, it's more it gives those molecules, fatty acids, alcohol, and water a chance, a much longer chance to bond properly. So it really affects mouthfeel. Just kind of affects the whole experience, kind of makes it more cohesive. And when I'm talking about slow, in the traditional cognac world, that might be like a 5+ year process. Whereas in bourbon, I usually do it at a month at the least to maybe 6 months or 1 year or so depending on the product. So, woo, that was long-winded.
No,
That's
but,
a lot of geeky intro there.
So I appreciate that. We do have a question in the chat from one Chris Blankenship who runs Only Drams. He asks, "Can you tell us about your mentorship with Luca? He speaks very highly of you. Are you teaching other your methods like Luca?"
Yes, I have some students over the years I've found that just have, or they've taken classes with me, like a 3-day blending and maturation and warehousing class or something that I teach. But there are some people that I find are really talented. So I just I take those people under my wing, and Luca is one of those people. And I've got 4 other students that are kind of in that category too, that they're what I'd call like in my inner circle of students. I've taken them to France to study with me before. We've done study trips, and we're planning more study trips and such. So that's the inner core, and Luca is very much in that vein. And I don't know if y'all have any Bywater, but just to kind of put a plug in for
the whiskey tree.
The whiskey tree.
Nice.
Yeah.
We saw that at Spillway.
Spillway. It was heavily advertised down there. There's a lot of bottles of whiskey tree.
That's
down at Spillway.
7-3 distilling, is that?
Yes.
7-3 distilling. Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, very good product.
Yeah. That's I've been teaching Luca kind of the finer points of blending and such with that. So yeah, that speaks to Luca. I love him. And we just today.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So the next question from East Coast Whiskey Sippers, he asked, "How do you decide when a blend is finished versus needing more time or components?"
Yeah, that's a great question. So, assuming that you've got, sometimes that is determined by the marketing and sales department.
Okay.
Sadly. But knowing that when they want a product out at a certain time, say you've got if it's a new product, something you're developing, it might be 1, 2, 3, 4 years down the road. So you've got some time on your hands in that kind of case. And from a purely production point of view, it's often when, we can talk about that too when we get to the Murray Hill Special, the Calvados. You know what? May I table that question for the moment, because this is going to be when we taste this, I can answer that question in a better way.
I think that'd be a good example. So, all right, no, very good. Are you
Going back to Joseph Magnus?
Oh, okay.
You said it was 10 years ago you created the first cigar blend of that.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. It was 10 years ago this month, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
So yeah, and it was influenced. Coming from the brandy world, cigar blend cognacs have been around 35, 40 plus years, and my own mentor, Hubert Tremé-Robin, made his first cigar blend in 1994. So it's not like I didn't have any like it was a totally new concept, if that makes sense. It'd been around for a while. But when I came up with the idea, I had a hard time getting anybody in the United States to understand what I was talking about, because everybody thought, oh, she means a cigar that's infused with bourbon. It's like, no, that's, and the cigar blend should not taste like a cigar either. That's not the point of it. But yeah, it was 10 years ago this month, and
Awesome.
it's
So
hard to
you
kind of
are
how many are out there now.
so you are responsible for creating the craft whiskey aroma wheel. I'm curious. I mean, that's a massive undertaking. If those who are unfamiliar with it, you just got to Google it, you'll find it. How in the world how long did it take you to do that? Good Lord.
It took me 3 years
Wow.
to do that. And by the way, anybody that wants a sample, a sample, Jesus, a copy of it, just get with these guys. I can get you a free e-copy of it if you're so interested.
Okay.
But yeah,
If you want to send it to our email address, we'll be sure to pass that out.
perfect. Okay. But yeah, it took me 3 years. It was just so complex. I mean, do you all have a copy of it? Or
Let's see here.
I don't know if I'd sent you a copy of it. Or
No, I have it on the internet, but it's not a great version of it, meaning that it's it's all pixelated.
oh yeah.
But nevertheless, my curiosity was the fact that it being so massive, just your thought process that went through that as far as matching everything up in the categories that you created. When you're going over the the ingredients and whatnot, the way you kind of just mastered that.
Well,
I guess it was for 3 years. I mean, I guess there's no surprise there.
yeah, it took me it was a time when the craft distilling world was kind of newish. I mean, I got started in it on 2009, and then I finished it in 2012, and then you got a copyright on it. But part of the thing at that time is I was studying a lot of what craft distillers were doing in distilling kind of non-traditional grains, like triticale or millet, oat, blue corn, red corns, all these different corn varietals, and not a whole lot of people had done it at that point. But I was trying to, if you look at that wheel, it has a lot of notes where I talk about heirloom grain varietals and such as well. Which I don't think anybody had ever done that in the bourbon world at that time. It also has a lot of negative faults too. It was,
Oh yeah, well, how so?
yeah. So it's when I made it, I actually made it for the distilling community and not necessarily for consumers, although consumers, and people in the industry have kind of taken advantage of it too. I mean, it's like really, it's intense to look at. But with the faults, what I was finding early on in the craft distilling world is that there were a lot of technical mistakes being made in with poured fermentations, distillations that were not for one reason or another were not good quality. Poor use of oak, maturation, not managing their warehouses correctly, with the right to temperature and humidity and such. So I put that kind of stuff in the wheel too. So I don't know that there are other. Well, now there. I mean, who knows? So much has changed in the past. How many years ago? What was that?
Yeah.
17 years. When I first started on that aroma wheel. But at the time, this is going to sound so. I don't mean this in an arrogant way, but it was kind of revolutionary because nobody had done that before.
Well, yeah, something so revolutionary. I mean, 3 years to me is that's still. I mean, that's a heck of an achievement in 3 years to come up with that.
And people can continue to build off that,
right,
and learn from it, and improve. So.
Yeah, well, it taught me an awful lot about chemistry, and I often think of it's when I was growing up, if I'd had any idea that chemistry could be so fun, related to bourbon and such,
right.
I probably would have paid a bit more attention. So I kind of had to teach myself a lot, but it really kind of made me focus and just really kind of nerd out and kind of really get the chemistry of everything under my belt. And so
I don't know if chemistry is fun. I mean, I took chemistry in college and I didn't like it.
Organic chem.
I didn't either, but who knew that that there was a really good application for it.
Yeah.
So Nancy, next question from Chris Barlow. He asks, such a year of change, obviously, effects on cooperage and their efforts on barrel options and outlook. What's your opinion on that?
You mean if I understand what the question is asking?
Yeah, I'm trying to effects on the cooperage.
Let me just 1 moment. I'm gonna
barrel options
get the light
and outlook. I'm not sure what he's asking.
Okay, maybe you can clarify.
Yeah, Chris, do you want to clarify that, brother?
Yeah.
We'll get back and we'll get on to the next question. But
Sorry about that.
we're gonna have him rephrase that in chat.
Okay. That's
confused to me.
That's all good.
So next question is from Brad Barisma. He asks, it sounds like you are constantly trying to study and learn
as you progress
down this journey. What was one of the most important lessons you learned
as you honed your skills?
Yeah, I can't. Sorry, there's some words missing from where I'm at. The angle that you learned.
Too, so.
Well, probably one of the biggest things that I've ever learned is that the more you go down a rabbit hole, the more you realize just how much there is to know. I mean, you could spend a whole career just studying something like yeast, in and of itself, or fermentation science or something. I just happen to be interested in the maturation side of things, and the oak and blending and such. But it's really kind of the more you learn, kind of you start to realize just how much you really don't know. And I know anytime I go study with some of my mentors in France, these people, first of all, have been doing this for 40, 50, 60 years. Their families have been doing it for centuries. And, the kind of closest thing I have in my family is my dad used to prosecute moonshiners. That's my connection. I don't have that kind of family history, and it's just the more you study with these kind of people that have so much knowledge, kind of the more humbling it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm not impugning my talent or saying I don't know anything. I mean obviously that's not true, but you just really start to realize just how much there is to all this.
Yeah. So before Joseph Magnus, what got you into the whiskey world?
Yeah. Well, I came to whiskey, or I'll put it this way: I came to bourbon through brandy, and so brandy was always kind of passion and such. But let's face it, it don't pay the bills. And what people tend to drink, in this country is bourbon and rye too. I mean, not that they don't drink other things, but let's face it, that's really kind of the bread and butter of things. And I just kind of threw myself into it headlong, and so I don't know if that kind of answers the question or not, but
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because everybody's got their own methods or means of getting into the industry, and so that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yes.
let's start drinking some bourbon.
Yes, I was hoping you would suggest that as some
Yeah,
point.
it is the bourbon channel, so I figured we'd get into it at some point. Start drinking. So, the few offerings. Where did Tanager go?
The Tanger's down here.
Okay, we have the Tanager 24, 25, and then we have the Still Austin Cast Strength, the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend, and then the Murray Hill. In what order would you like us to do? Whatever you would. This is up to you. Whatever you like us to do.
Probably, since you'll already have it out on the table, let's just kind of start with
If that
the
falls, I'm telling you, he's
Still
stacked.
Austin.
Sorry, Nancy. He was stacking the bottles on top of each other,
I'm a
and I
Nancy. I'm a Jenga thing.
no.
You
If
don't
that,
have to
I'm
worry
telling you,
about
if that would have fall, oh my God, we would have been on.
Yeah, that break,
All right,
man. That's
Oh my God, I can't even. No, I can't even deal with that. That happened.
Oh, it's all good.
That was not easy to get that bottle.
so. Do you know when about when you got that particular bottle?
That Cast Strength, probably about a year ago.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that said, I can tell you it's I see my cousin Marty on here, by the way. Get that manna out of here. He's it's bad news. But we like to give each other a little hell now and
Yeah,
then.
we enjoyed when you were on Whiskey Nose. That was a great time. I think it was you and K Loop was on. Is that right?
So good. Go on. Yeah.
So, anyways, go ahead.
Oh, I think we lost you.
Oh yes. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, sorry you cut out
Yeah.
there for a second, but I think we're okay.
Okay.
Or maybe not.
Oh. Are we
Yep.
good?
You're good.
Got, yep.
All right, good.
Okay. Yeah. What was I trying to say? Something about. Oh yeah. We were talking about the Still Austin cask strength. So even though it does have two at least 2 years, obviously on the bottle, these are more like 2 years, 10 months to 3 years old right now. So.
And it being a Texas whiskey, that's more like a 4-year, really, with the environment, right? I mean, just
I think so. Yeah. Absolutely. And then when
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go.
You there?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry, we're cutting in and out.
We're cutting it out. That's why I was trying to figure out where we're at with this. I was going to ask, as far as like Texas whiskey in general, what do you think the oldest age before it becomes too old, as far as like almost like burnt to the point where you went too far with the Texas whiskey? In your opinion, what do you think that age statement would be?
Well, I think it depends on how you make it and how you mature it and what kind of oak you put it in and kind of what your maturation conditions are like. So I want to say that I think traditionally in Texas, we found that, I find after a few years it tends to get really aggressive. But I will say this, at Still Austin, our plan is to show that you can make bourbon and age it for, say 8 to 12, 15 years. And we're actually trying to slow maturation down. And so if we are able to do this, and we have a bunch of barrels in our stock that where we're working on just this very thing. I think we can kind of prove everybody wrong, and not only have higher age statements, but also it not being over oaked and not being overblown, if that makes sense. So
No, I mean, I've had some wonderful Texas whiskey, and I think sometimes it's a misnomer out there, just because it's not from Kentucky. But obviously, Still Austin is one of those leaders out of Texas that we like a lot. So, but yeah, with the Still Austin, the cask strength, I mean, what's not like the
What's not to like? Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, tongue twister.
a lot of words there. No, yeah. Well, I think it's that kind of comes down to what we're doing at Still Austin. And when I was working with Iron Root Republic, which I haven't now in probably about 6 years, but I did with them initially. The whole goal is to use those ancient French techniques that are used in the brandy world and apply them to bourbon. So in the case of Still Austin, that is a perfect example of where we're trying to do that. So we're actually starting these days at Still Austin with the really long-term stock that would be part of the say the 8 to 12, 15-year program. We're looking at entry proofs, maybe like around 110 or so, as opposed to the current 116-ish area, and that kind of allows for things to kind of slow down a little bit, and I'm also using larger barrels. Somebody, lip service crew, mentioned using 63-gallon barrels. Yeah, that's part of it. Using larger barrels than the standard 53-gallon. So we're using more of either say 59-gallon or 63. And maybe for something really, really long term, we might look at 92-gallon.
Oh wow!
Is that just because of the surface area, the contact area of the whiskey?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Absolutely. And we're just trying to slow. Well, it's both the surface area issue, and it also kind of helps retard the evaporative loss to use larger casks. I mean, you're still going to have a lot of evaporative loss. And, let's face it is Texas after all. But that really kind of slows things down. If the proofs start getting too high, maybe watering that back just a little bit, so that it makes a huge difference in having a whiskey that's actually kind of elegant, as opposed to just a big old tannin bomb, if that makes sense. Aggressive such. So it really is using those kind of techniques from France.
Gotcha. So do you find yourself lip service crew to kind of tag on to that larger barrel? They're asking, are you doing any distilling or just blending at the moment?
Oh, I'm personally, yeah, I haven't really distilled since I was at Chemin Robin. So yeah, I mean, I've just been working on the blending part since 2011, basically. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I can distill, but I, that's not really, where my focus has been in here.
Your focus is really on the blending side. So
Right.
East Coast whiskey sippers, they are asking, how do you train your palate to distinguish subtle aromas, compounds reliably?
Practice.
Perfect.
Yeah, it really is. And from a technical point of view, kind of the kinds of things I'm looking for are probably very different than what a connoisseur is looking for. I mean, not that there's no overlap, of course, but I'm looking for issues with fermentation. There are things that might have come through when distillation, problems with the maturation and such. So that a lot of my job is really trying to prevent those kind of issues from the beginning, or if I find them, then being able to come up with some kind of remedy to deal with that. That's the thing that I know right now, and the blending is kind of enjoying, or at least in the United States, is kind of enjoying a renaissance. And there's a lot of excitement around blending, and it is fun. And I'm not knocking that, but I think oftentimes what the role of what a master blender is doing is kind of getting. It's not always as glamorous as what people think it is. It makes sense. It's a lot of it is in, kind of to me, what makes someone a master at the craft is how you can handle the problems, and there will be a lot, and that's kind of I'm not saying just anybody can blend, but if you have entirely good stock, it's a lot easier to blend than it is if you don't always have the greatest stock. And I'll tell you, even at the biggest distilleries, or all the big guys that have millions of dollars at their disposal, even at those places, there's eventually some kind of issue. And what really kind of makes you a master is if you're able to overcome that, or to at least kind of minimize the damage in theirs. So it's not the fun and games. It is a lot of fun, but it's not. There's a lot of just trying to remedy problems.
Problem solver.
Yep.
So CJP Bourbon.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So he mentions on another show that the owners have allowed you to get the Magnus closer to what the batches used to be. What's the biggest challenge in making this happen? Yes. So about a year ago, at Joseph Magnus, got a new CEO, and she's actually someone that had been working with me from the very beginning at Magnus. And I've been there almost since day one, into 2014, and she was there when the original owners came up with the ideas. So she's always been part of it. She wasn't always CEO, but anyway, just a little background there. But the moment that she became CEO was the moment when I felt like we could finally get back to quality again. And for a while, I was having a lot of pressure just to kind of pump things out. God, I hope I don't get fired over saying this, if reality. you see, I don't have a job tomorrow. You'll know what happened to me, but but it's I finally have been able to got the right stock, being able to actually take time with the batches again and do it more as an art as opposed to just doing it to crank out numbers, if that makes sense.
Do you do a lot of micro blending? I mean, I understand that's kind of the new techniques or new forms of blending these days.
Oh, that's been around forever. I've been doing that. Well, I mean, it might not be. I think some people that might be newer to it are just discovering it, but it's really nothing new.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the next bourbon that we shall try, we did the cast strength. What else what's the next one you suggest?
Well, I see that you'll have some tanager right there. So I'm thirsty. That's kind of where I want to go.
So
with that.
Is there a specific one? Is there a 24, 25 you want us to try, or what do you suggest? Or what can you tell us the difference between the two? What do you think about between the two?
There are differences. 25, the one with the cracked egg is going to it's a year older, but I kind of find I'm personally a little bit more a fan of batch 1, so why don't we move to that? And by the way, CJP Bourbon, I hope I answered your question in that kind of what's going on there, but with Magnus. But yeah, I mean, I've been waiting to kind of get back to the art level again.
Oh, you got 2 others right there. These corks are amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, that's
Crack
when
effect.
So while they're pouring, I do have a question myself. Is you mentioned about blending and maybe taking some barrels that maybe have some more imperfections and kind of blend it just to kind of save those barrels. Would you say, I don't know what data there is out there as far as percentage of barrels that never make it to blending because they're just not what you could blend with? I mean, are there a lot of those barrels that just never see the light of day?
I wouldn't say a lot, but occasionally, yeah, that has to happen. Yeah, I mean, there are barrels that you just have to destroy. That said, it depends on the type of problem that you have with the barrel or I mean with that the bourbon in that barrel. And so I just to kind of geek out for a moment, if I may, when it comes to problems or to what we call faults, there are 2 kinds. There's one that we call a taint, and that's where the product has had some kind of environmental issue that's changed it. So for example, maybe there was musty corn that got was used, or the water when it was used somewhere in the production process had geosmin in it, and that's it's a byproduct of a blue-green algae mold that like water tables change at different times of the year. Sometimes you can taste like this earthy beetroot kind of note. So that's a taint. Those kind of notes are really difficult to fix. Now, if you have a kind of fault that we call an off flavor, then that's where it's some kind of natural process in the production that has just kind of gone haywire. So a good example of that is like in fermentation, for instance, you've got we'll say every fermentation is going to have just a little bit of vinegar in it, a little bit of acetic acid.
That's natural. But when your threshold gets so high that your whiskey tastes just like vinegar, then you've got a problem. And maybe your yeast were kind of weak, and during the fermentation, your alcohol content was maybe 3 or 4% before it went into the still. And when you distill it, you get these notes, or very heady notes. We call it acetaldehyde. Just kind of like think green apples and must. Those kind of notes are a lot easier to fix. So what you could do if you have a lot of acetaldehyde is you would take the barrels, or say you've got an entire lot of that, from a certain distillation date, put it, say, like high up in the warehouse, and those volatiles are going to eventually kind of blow off, because their boiling point is lower than the what the temperature is high in the warehouse. So things like that, you can there are things that you can kind of fix if you know what you're doing. So I know that was a long-winded way to kind of get through that, but yeah, that's it. You just really have to be, if you can fix a problem, you're highly encouraged to do that, because it's really expensive to dump whiskey and such. So.
Wow. That's a great answer there. I never knew any of that, and obviously, but going back to Chris Barlow, if I can make sense of the question. At first, he asked about such a year of change. He has said effects on cooperage and the effects on barrel options and outlook. He continued to add. He's talking about the age, species, seasoning of staves, toasting, tech data cause effects of barrels, grain tightness on staves acts. I'm trying to, as far as question wise, I guess he's asking about the tightness of the grain in the wood, and that makes the barrels. I guess there's a question somewhere on that. Or do you have any comments on that? I'm trying to help you out on Chris on that one.
I think we might have lost it. There we are. You're back.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, and my apologies, Chris. I've kind of lost a sense of what the entire question was. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to not answer it, but I just might need a refresh of. Okay.
All right, Mr. Blankenship. So he goes back to your knowledge of chemistry and your personal life experiences, your palate history tends to guide your blending more to what?
Personal life palate history tends to guide your blending more. Yeah, absolutely. It does. I mean, I'm not all science and I'm not all art, if that makes sense. It's always a combination of those things. I mean, do I take chemistry and science into account of what I'm doing? Yeah, absolutely. But I've also been blending for so long now, and doing this kind of thing every day for at least that's 17 years or so, that it's a lot of it just kind of comes down to experience at this point. I just kind of innately know how, or have a pretty good sense of
You're breaking up really bad.
Did that come through?
No, you're frozen right now on screen. Still there?
You know what we gotta do? We should answer for her. You know how far off we'd be?
I know we'd be way off.
We'd screw it all up.
There you go.
Yeah, you wouldn't even be in left.
Yeah,
field.
and Nancy would be like, whatever he said, that's not it.
No. Take him, get a shepherd's hook, and get him off the stage.
Out of curiosity, are the issues coming from, or do I need to move? I can move
if you can, that'd be great. I think that might be helpful, or maybe the reason what's going on. Of course, I'm saying it's, it could be us too. You never know. But
Yeah,
I don't see anything in chat that it might be us. But then again, they're used to us. Not,
okay, so yeah, that's
because of problems.
if you guys just give me a couple minutes, then I'll
yeah,
Yep.
that's fine. Have at it,
I'll-
and we can.
I'll go set up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, we'll give you a few minutes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's
So,
fine.
what-
Don't
crap.
talk behind my back.
Oh no.
no,
all right, I'll be back.
No.
All right, very good.
All right.
All right, we'll see in a minute. All right, so while she gets situated and whatnot, I'm trying to rephrase Mr. Barlow's question. I think he's asking something about the advances in barrel technology. How has that changed with what Nancy does today compared to back in the day when she started? I think that's what he's asking.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Chris. I just maybe it's lack of sleep. Who knows?
Well, if worse comes to worse, I can put it in an email to her and
Yeah,
have
she
her
can
have her respond.
What's cool though too is she had mentioned that she will email us the wheel,
Your
Yep.
craft
and then we'll put it on either the website or through Patreon, whatever that was.
Yeah.
That way everybody can have. That's a massive wheel, by the way.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it is.
Have you
It's
seen
like
that?
the periodic table.
Oh, it is it is a periodic table of bourbon. That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
So no, that's pretty awesome in itself. But anyways, while she's getting set up, again, she'll be back with us in a moment. On Thursday we have Bar Distilling. They're pretty fascinating. Did you know that she was, and we're going to ask about this, she's a NASCAR driver,
Oh yeah.
a former NASCAR driver. I think her husband was in the pit crew.
No way.
Yes, pretty. I can't wait to ask her about that stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Speaking of racing, someone asked me, we're going to get through the Kentucky Derby this week. And I think our next sporting event through Patreon after that, I think it's going to be the Indy 500. Unless I'm missing a major sporting event between now and then.
Okay.
I think. And correct me in chat if I'm missing it. But I think Indy 500 is next. And then we have the World Cup
The
coming up.
NBA Finals.
We'll let chat decide on that. I got a feeling that minus Bob, OG Bob,
Yeah.
I don't know there's going to be many people that are interested in NBA Finals, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
That's
Let the chat decide.
yeah. Let the chat decide, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, which by the way, you guys hear the news? I would imagine you guys did with Brandon Sorsby,
Yeah.
the former quarterback for UC,
Yep.
is now caught up in that gambling. It's going to be somebody. You knew it was somebody.
Right.
Yep.
Now reached the college level and is inevitable. So
Oh yeah.
the bylaws, the way they read is he's done. His college career is done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he left UC to go to Texas Tech, and then UC turned around and sued him for breach of his contract,
Right.
his NIL contract, and now he's actually he's a petition to have it dismissed or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that, and then he may not get his money from Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So
he's
I think
out.
he's going to be entering the draft next year.
Yeah.
But I would imagine they're going to have a close eye on him,
For sure.
even in the NFL.
Oh, God.
Now, whether or not he goes the first round
That's a
next
shame
year.
too. I mean, he's a hell of a ball
Yeah,
player.
but
you know.
that's a no-no.
Yeah.
You just can't
You know
gamble.
what?
You should
Nope.
not gamble. But it's easy for the kids to do it because it's easy for the rest of us. It's at our hands and our disposal.
Mhm.
So
But it's
Um,
harder as a young kid.
yeah, very
Yeah.
very interesting, very sad. But nevertheless, that was in the headlines today. I thought that was interesting.
Yep. We got a few other things we could talk about before she comes back. There are some new releases that are out there right now.
Mhm.
Angel's Envy has released their
Oh.
cast strength.
So what we got today?
Oh well, I'm getting there. And then A. Smith Bowman released
He's leading up to it.
I'm leading up to it. It's a 16-year rye whiskey. It's their first rye whiskey ever. That released as well. That's going at $80 a bottle.
16-year rye.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the bigger news, and we're going to be doing a little bottle review after our show tonight.
So, there'll be no Google Meets tonight.
Yeah, no Google Meets,
We have to do a
unfortunately.
video.
But today we were fortunate enough to get a mail call from Sazerac. When I got the notification that I was getting something from Sazerac, I'm like, what the hell am I getting from Sazerac? Turns out we got the new Daniel Weller spelt wheat whiskey.
Now, albeit it's a media
It's
sample.
a media sample, but you know, MSRP on that bottle is $550, which is unreal.
So we're going to do a video and we'll release that video here soon. But what we'll do is we're going to split the sample by 4. The 4th person being you guys. You guys will have a shot at it on Thursday's live show as far as like a super chat.
Yep.
So we won't do it tonight, but on Thursday you'll have a shot at winning the sample and the rest of that bottle.
Yep.
So that being said.
Yeah, it's about 4 ounces or so, roughly.
Yeah, so you get like an ounce.
So lucky.
Yep. Maybe might get a half ounce, but maybe.
Yeah. So,
Depends on how good it is.
well, it makes up for that quadruple 6 bottle. That we
Yeah,
had.
the 4 6s bottle that they sent was a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that being said, other announcements going on as far as it's almost like a weather delay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know.
What do you
Well,
weather?
there she is.
Yeah. So all right, we're gonna bring Nancy back onto the stage.
Back.
And hold on, let me find my mousey. All right. There we go. There we
All
go.
right. Thanks so much.
How we
Yeah,
doing?
it sounds better on this. And yeah, thanks for letting me switch out places.
Well, coming back on. We were gonna,
Yeah, we just had
going to run away.
It's like a weather delay in a ball game, so we're fine now.
Like getting you off here.
Mm.
So I don't know where we left off. Where did we left off?
We were tasting this the Tanager
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, we were.
We have a 25 Tanager.
24.
You had 20.
You have the 24 Tanager.
Yeah, I think we had 24.
Yeah.
This is 20.
24. So
What'd you find?
That was a 20.
awesome. And I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are on it.
Well,
Well, it depends on which one I'm having because I think Numbnuts over here gave me the wrong one. But what are you doing? I'm still drinking this.
there you go.
All right, let me get oh, this is what we do. There's nothing that goes right on this show. So you having internet problems? It's right on par with everything else that we got going on.
I'll grab mine.
Since I've already nosed it, the nose on this is man. I get a fruitiness.
It's not right. Hang on.
Mm.
Is that the 24 or the 25?
This is the 24.
24.
This is
24.
24.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll make sure I'm having the right one.
Citrusy
Yeah.
sweetness.
Yeah, what's the mash bill on something like this? If you're able to share, because I get wheat off this.
No wheat. It's a blend of the Still Austin blue corn bourbon, red corn bourbon, and the white corn bourbon. And then that sweetness, that kind of that fruity note that you're getting on there.
Yeah, what is that?
That's the Petite O.
Oh, that's what's
So-
messing me up.
The petite.
What's the Petite O?
Petite O. So it's French for small waters, and it's a technique that goes back again, another French blending technique that goes back to say the 1780s in France, and it's essentially kind of where you fortify water and you age it, but but you don't add. So like if I'm making Petite Eau for it's Still Austin, I'm adding the whiskey to the water as opposed to the water to the whiskey. And what you create in that is, when you go up in proof that way, you create a lot of esterification, so that it gives it a lot of fruity notes. And it also kind of, when you age it, you're also pulling out a lot of those water-soluble caramelized wood sugars out of the oak too. So that's what gives it the sweetness behind it. Okay. So that's kind of what I would kind of call like the secret sauce. How I when I made Still Austin cigar blend, I wanted to get away from the whole cask finish monstrosity that I created. I made Magnus, and I can go into that a little bit later. But when you're making a traditional cigar blend, there are two things that you're trying to do. First of all, when you ferment and distill it, you're trying to get a lot of fat in there. So if you do like what they call a lees distillation, and that's where you get a lot of fattiness from the dead yeast and such. So if you're making a traditional cigar blend, that's what you're trying to do. The next thing that you do is you age it in a very kind of like a humid environment, and so that's going to help those over time those fatty notes, the esters of those are going to oxidize and create this note that we I don't know if you all ever heard of a term called rancio.
No.
Kind of like a nutty, fatty type of note that, like on a really good cognac, if it's had a lot of like a heavy lees distillation or Armagnac or whatever, you'll get this note. But what it does, it tends to pair very well with the cigar. And so if you're making a cigar blend, that's really what you're trying to look for, or the fatty acids from the lees, or a human maturation. But anyway, I mean, we can talk more about that when we get to the Magnus.
hey, Nancy, and not to go off topic or anything, because that's what we love to do here. What do you think about the blunt blend?
I haven't had it.
Who is it? Dark Arts makes. I swear to God, they make a blunt blend. It's not infused or anything, but it's supposed to pair well with the blunt. Maybe that's something that you could venture into. That would be awesome. That'd be funny as hell. I'm just saying.
Clever, yeah, absolutely.
You can do like a collaboration somewhere in Colorado or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
So the aging of water, you age that in just a toasted barrel.
Well, yeah, like an ex-bourbon barrel. If like for tanager, what we do is we put we make the Petite Eau from like some ex-bourbon barrels, after we've dumped them. You fill that barrel to about halfway. You don't want to fill it up all the way. You're kind of trying to encourage oxidation in there. So anyway, it's a technique I thought would be really cool to use with tanager, because bourbon, just by the very nature of how it's made, it just doesn't have as many fatty acids as brandy. And so it was a technique that, I thought, well, I know sometimes, it tends to have a lot of fat. The Petite Eau has a lot of fattiness to it. And so, sweet Cindy. So sorry. Nancy knows it when she talks. I love it when she talks sturdy.
All right, let's go to the next
Oh my
question. Go
God.
ahead.
All right. Ashley McAdory asks, which wood produces the most interesting flavors in your opinion?
Oh, yeah. Well, that is a good question. Interesting flavors. There are some that I find interesting, but that are not necessarily what I would say conducive to good bourbon making. One would be it's a species of oak that comes from Oregon and the North Pacific coast. It's called Quercus garryana. It's kind of I know I think some bourbon producers have been kind of experimenting with it lately for finishing and such, but it tends to have a lot of qualities or a lot of similarities that, say like European and French oak varieties have, or species, but it's it's American. So what that tends to offer, it has like a lot of bacon type of notes and like a cedar wood, or I think it's like a incense, like a temple incense. So which can kind of be interesting as a finishing cask, but there's no way you would want to have a bourbon spend its entire maturation life in that cask. I mean, it'd just be just a hot mess. Essentially.
We got another question here, Nancy, kind of along the barrel realm. So what would happen if, this is from Show Me the Proof, what would happen if there was no toast or char on a barrel?
Good question. Well, for the legal definition of light whiskey, you're allowed to use barrels like that. So I know there are a number of light whiskeys out there that these days people are kind of enjoying and playing with. So for that kind of whiskey, that legal category, you're allowed to either use like an charred oak bourbon, or casks like for bourbon, or you could use something that wasn't that just had no treatment. The problem I find with that is that the inside of the cask, you really kind of need those. Actually, I'd say the toast and char kind of helps. Hold on. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. You kind of need that to be able to pull out notes. Say like when you put new make into a barrel at first, the barrel is doing three things. It's adding flavor. It has an addition note. It also has a subtractive note, so it's taking out, say, sulfur notes that could have been in the distillation itself, or fault notes, and oxidative notes as well, which occur over time. Well, you really need a toast and or char to kind of activate that process, if that makes sense. So. Again, a kind of a nerdy way to
well, it also helps with
you definitely need that, or one and or the other.
Yeah, as I say, you would need that to help with like the vanillin or the vanilla. I don't know what the technical term of it is, but the sugars and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So Scott Minderborough, you got a question here that says, how much angel share is lost per year? Is aging going to be limited to angel share loss?
Yeah, that's so. Angel share can vary wildly So from a, like take Scotland for example, for, single malt scotches or, blended whiskeys, or you probably have angel share of evaporative loss of, maybe 1 to 3% per year. Whereas you take a, like a really hot, dry place, like Texas, like where still Austin is, or the warehouses out in the central Texas, and you're talking 8 to 12% evaporative loss per year. So it really, it's really dependent on maturation conditions and where you are, and the interplay of heat and humidity as well. So I hope that answers that question. I mean, it's a complex question, and I could go on, just like hours, and talk about.
We can nerd out on all this stuff. We're with you. So, but we'll move on. Harold McAdory asks, "What's your favorite cooperage, and do you think the region where the tree grows makes a difference?"
Yes. So for I've got a few favorite cooperages. One is I've been working with Independent Stave Company for 16 years, and I really everything they do is really high quality, and so it's my bread and butter stock. That's where I like to source barrels. I also have a few. There's a cooperage that's 30 minutes from my house. It's called Tonellery O. And the O with the sorry, my French is bad, but it's like an O with a little that's kind of an image on
little carrot.
Little carrot.
Yeah. That's
we you know what's going to happen, Nancy? We're going to have to clip that, and we're going to make a meme out of it. We don't know where we're going to go with it just yet. But,
I'm not doing the British, this, so it's sorry.
Okay, so we've done the still Austin. We've done both of them, the tanagers.
Yep.
What do you suggest that we do next?
Probably Joseph Magnus cigar blend while we're at it.
All right,
I've got batch 515, which is one of my.
The one question that we always have, we'll talk among ourselves, like in like on Zoom calls or Google Meets and things like that. And there's a specific number that we all look for, as far as we're always saying, all right, what batch do you have? What batch do you have? And there's a specific number we're always looking for, is maybe having higher than that batch. What batch number are we talking about as far as will we really need to be looking out for, or can you say?
Yeah, am I technically allowed to? No, but am I going to say it? Yes.
Nice.
Beg for forgiveness later. So I think it's common knowledge that we had some batches there for a while that were subpar, and that would say few things going on, but one of the big things was that we had a bottling line contamination issue, and I didn't discover it until things were kind of out there. We also had some stock, bless you, that had some flavor drift issues, which is kind of uncommon for MGP stock, but around 2014, 2015, 2016, there was some stock that they had some major flavor drift issues, and kind of had like a very fruity, almost like a bubble gum kind of note to it. That came from MGP, and we happened to get some of that stock. It was kind of like a convergence of a few things going on, so kind of like the perfect storm, if you will. And I think that's done some brand damage, and I'm afraid that the batch that you all have there kind of might be like part of that time period about 4 years ago now, I guess it would have been. And so over the past year, like what I was saying, once the leadership changed, I've just really been intent on trying to kind of get things back up to where they were again, or were originally, back in the day. And so all that to kind of answer your question, that I would say any batches in the 400s are going to be really good, but particularly I'd say 490 and above is like where I've really been able to just kind of really hone things in and kind of get it back down to like an art form again. And I was going to say too that in the samples for offering, if I may actually send you guys or send whoever wins anything like a Joseph Magnus sample that's current. If
let's do that.
Allow me to do that. I would prefer to do that.
Okay, sure.
I think that's going to be a lot more representative of where things are now 3 or 4 years after.
I appreciate that. So super chat people. We're not going to give you the sample 219, and we will upgrade that to the current batch. And thank you.
Sure. I'll either send some of batch 490, which is the Fire Dog batch, that I named after Bobby Bonan's son, Bad Axe Bourbon.
Right.
Or one of those batches that are kind of after that too. They're all going to be fantastic.
All right. I'm sure that chat.
That
and everybody else, including ourselves. I got to be honest with you, we're probably gonna take a swig of it before we hand it out. But I do. Well, I'm just being honest. I appreciate that.
It's all good. I'm happy to let you too.
It's like anything else. I mean, you get a reputation of putting out some bad stuff. It takes a long time to get over that. And we know some distilleries that put out stuff that they just had to get out on the market to start making some money, and it hurt them. Yeah. Yep. So I totally get what you're saying.
I feel a duty, and I think MSRP of Magnus cigar blend should be 170. But that said, I feel like for want of a better term, like a moral responsibility to. If people are going to pay that kind of money, or God forbid, 200 or 250, which I personally think is ridiculous, but if you're going to do that, then I feel like it better deliver. I just that feels I don't feel good about or how shall I say, I feel like a morally, like an obligation.
But you know what though? It comes through, Nancy, that people appreciate your honesty. And that's what make people follow you and trust your decisions. And just like life, it's not everything's gonna be perfect. So I think people appreciate the transparency.
Yep.
Well, that's thank you, and I that's why I often feel like that I'll beg for forgiveness later, and
I will.
But you know what though, that makes me it makes me a great follower of this brand now, because I know that with the transparency behind it, but there's also a lot of truth behind it, to where you guys are genuinely care about this whiskey. So there's something to that. So I'd be remiss to say next time I see this on the shelf, I'm going to grab that bottle off the shelf and I'm going to, kind of look at it and investigate it. And if it's something that's to my liking, I'm probably going to buy it now, where maybe yesterday before this, I wouldn't have done that. So, to a lot of the people in the chat, I think they probably feel the same way.
Well, I do appreciate that. I mean, I feel like it, when I see people give, what I feel like are fair reviews, I respect that. I mean, I've, seen people just be nasty before, just, because they're just being nasty, but
I'm not nasty. It's just my poker face is horrible when I try bad whiskey. I'm sorry.
Well,
we've had to take him off the show before.
Well, it's single malts. I can't do single malts. Everybody knows in chat I cannot do single malts.
All right. So East Coast Whiskey Sippers has a question for you, Nancy. So what's a flavor profile you think is underappreciated right now?
oh, boy, that I'm stumped by that question. That's a good question. I have to say I don't really know. I think I'd have an easier time saying some things that I think are overappreciated.
Yeah.
What are you doing with that?
Yeah.
So
what's your thoughts on like Amberana?
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, great minds think alike.
Don't be knocking on my Amberana, man.
No, there's a subtlety to it. I mean,
Subtlety.
well, yeah. I mean, some Amberana is like way overdone.
Well, that's not subtle.
But that's what I'm saying. But then there's some where it's just enough.
Yeah.
And it just, like you said, it just kind of gets overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
All
right.
Brian
Yeah,
Callahan.
I'm not an Amberana fan. I'm not inherently against doing interesting cask finishes. It's not that. I find that particular one covers up the the initial distillate, or the bourbon, and so much itself that you can't really recognize it as bourbon sometimes, or rye, or
Sure.
it just takes things over, and cask finishing ought to just kind of be like the cherry on top, as it were, cherry and whipped cream, it's not the whole dish. It shouldn't. That's
right.
Well, it hides a lot of the bad bourbon too. I mean, it just, all you taste is Amberana.
I can think of a particular brand right now that needs to have Amberana, but anyways, I digress.
All right. Brian Callahan's up, Nancy. How often do you have or need to go to a distillery on a normal basis?
another good question. It really depends on the distilleries I've been working with now for all these years. Joseph Magnus, J. Henry and Sons up in Wisconsin, Still Austin, now 7-3 in the New Orleans, and I was working for Wyoming Whiskey before. I've been working with all these distilleries, I'd say, since like 2013, 14. So I used to have to be on site like a lot. And that's where I did the majority of my work. A lot of it now, part of it is just, getting older, flying isn't, quite what it used to be. Our body's got to break down, over the years, if I have a good assistant, who I trust and such, I can give them directions, tell them, what I need done with a particular barrel. If I need to make some kind of micro adjustment to that barrel, add, 0.5 gallons, of this component or that component, whatever, I already know kind of what needs to be done. So I just kind of tell them what I need to have done, and I don't have to be there on site as much anymore. So that said, I do like to be on site. How often I'm on site. I would say years ago, I was probably on the road about 6 to 8 months of the year.
Wow.
And it got, just physically tiring. I mean,
Oh, I can imagine.
I mean, not that I'm real old. I mean, but I'm kind of pushing 60 now. So, it kind of gets,
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
ooh, yeah.
So Chris Barlow is interested, Nancy, in your opinion on how changes that the cooperage styles and processes affect your decision in picking a certain cooperage barrel.
That is a great question. It's huge. And I'll say, I've worked with a lot of cooperages over the course of my career. In France, also here in the United States, I've seen their processes and the things they do. Some I'm very impressed with, and others not so much. I would say that the cooperages I tend to work with, I know very well. I mean, I know the people there. I know, I've got long-term relationships with, essentially, and I feel comfortable with the quality of what they're putting out. And for me, at the end of the day, if quality isn't there, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I mean, I kind of to the, well, I wouldn't say detriment, but the distilleries I've worked with, they've kind of been, sometimes gotten pissed off when I haven't wanted something to be released because I don't think it's ready yet, or there's some kind of thing that we need to. I'm kind of veering off the question, I know, but anyway, all that said, I'm a stickler for quality and making sure that things are right. I've studied enough about oak chemistry and oak physiology, and kind of know at this point. I know what I'm looking for is as far as grain tightness, yards, seasoning. There are areas of the world where the oak comes from. I mean, I know enough to kind of know what I'm looking for and who I want to work with, if that makes sense. Is that getting to your question?
Well, yeah, and you've earned that right. I mean, your experience, your knowledge, what you've done, you've earned that right to be able to be that picky and choosy. And if somebody gets pissed off about it, well, do you want a good product or not?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's there have been, that's a lot easier to do in the cases of the distilleries I've worked for that make all their own distillate in house. For like a brand like Magnus that sources. I'm kind of stuck at the mercy of the oak that they use.
Sure.
But that said, I'm also choosy in that I don't like what before we buy stock, I want to know what the cooperages are that have been used, and I've got things I want to know about that stock, and that would definitely affect a buying decision. That's your oak is so important.
Yeah.
The quality of it. I mean, that's arguably, if you get past the fermentation and distillation phase, the oak and the maturation conditions are the most important part of your maturation process. So, ought to be choosy.
So,
Yep.
Nancy, going back to that, your Magnus here in the cigar blend, Matt Bykowski is kind of asking about what when you define it, just if you could do a quick summary on what makes a cigar blend.
So, of course, in the United States, we don't have a legal category for that yet. But what it is essentially, and again, what I did comes entirely from the French tradition. It's a spirit, an aged spirit that's designed to pair a little better, or at least in theory, it's designed to be a little better at pairing with a cigar than just your regular whiskey or brandy, and also the very traditional thing that you're looking for in a cigar blend, just to get to Matt's question, since he missed it, is that in the traditional French world, or cognac world, a cigar blend is usually distilled on heavy lees, so that's the dead yeast and such, and then it's aged in a humid environment. So it's your by doing that over time, the esters, those fatty acids, are going to oxidize, and they're going to give you the kind of aromas and flavors and mouthfeel that tend to pair very well with cigars. So that's kind of like the historical definition. And when I do a cigar blend, I mean, the only reason with Joseph Magnus why I did the cast finishes was because I was trying to approximate that brandy lees distillation. Because with brandy finishes, you can at least theoretically get some of those fatty acids from the brandy that was in those barrels, whereas a bourbon just by itself doesn't quite have that same level. So that's what a cigar blend is. And I know, and I'm not, I probably haven't had most cigar blends out on the market, but I've noticed a lot of people have kind of copied what I did, with different finishes and such. And I don't think they understand the theory of.
I think they're just following you, Nancy, is what they're trying to do.
And
not
but
really doing the science behind it.
It was very deliberate, and what I was trying to do. There was a scientific reason for it. Whether or not it worked out, I don't know. I mean, that's for the consumer to decide.
Well, apparently it did work out well enough for people to kind of mimic what you're doing. So that in itself tells you.
Yeah,
All right.
sure.
All right, another question. NorCal Whiskey is asking. They have a few ounces left of batch 344 and batch 449. Been reluctant to blend them together, so they want the expert's opinion on what you think.
Should we blend them together?
You just live once, or maybe there's an afterlife, but at least right here, right now, what the heck? Why not? That would be fun, and to see, let it mix them, let it sit for a week or whatever, kind of let all those molecules kind of do their thing, and see what it evolves. It's fun, so I 100% encourage that.
Coalesce.
Proportional scaling ideas.
Chad, I'll let you read this.
All right,
and then we're going to quickly move on after this one. That's funny.
All right,
you've got to get down on your knees, and you've got to do this right.
You got a proposal here. I don't know if you've ever had that before, Nancy, but are you willing? You can say yes, no, or maybe.
Or you know what? We can spin the wheel and see what that does.
Yep.
So we'll see. But, all right. Moving on to a more serious question.
All right. Is there a distillery that you haven't worked with, but would love to have the opportunity to?
That's a great question.
That's an excellent question. Yeah, absolutely. Bardstown.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
That's a surprise. I would have. Yeah.
Could you imagine, like you could do like one of the Discovery series?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be epic.
Yeah, that. But Bardstown, Corbin Cash, I think would be cool with. I have worked with from but Baltimore.
Sagamore.
Yes,
Sagamore.
yeah.
Sagamore?
Yeah. I've
You
said,
worked with Sagamore?
yeah, I did a little consulting for them about, oh boy, God, when was that, like 2011 or 12 when they were 13 when they first kind of reached out to me before anything had ever Jonathan Misano, yeah, it would be very cool to work with. I mean,
Oh yeah.
There are a number of people that I admire what they're doing, and not just distilleries but other blenders, and it would be fun to kind of see what we can come up with together. I mean, that's
I'm sure there's probably an endless list that's willing to bring you on and work with you. I'm sure.
For sure. So there's Aaron Howard has a question about a specific oak. Is there a specific oak that you would love to work with, but haven't had the opportunity left or yet to do?
Yes. Quercus mongolica, which is more commonly known as Mizunara oak from
Mizunara. All right.
Yeah, the only thing about it is that it's not great for tight cooperage, and in that it leaks an awful lot, and a little bit goes a long way. But I've been wanting to get some of that for as a finishing cask for years now. So
wow.
yeah.
Well, what about the thought of using like a stave or the spirals? I mean, is that something that you would be willing to do with that, or is it?
Maybe a stave, not spirals. I'm not real fond of some of the quality I've seen of spirals, but it might depend on where I would source that from. Again, it always has to be some from a cooperage or a producer that I trust implicitly. So with the quality.
Sure.
But it would be fun to do that. I'd love to work with that. I've probably worked with most other kinds of a lot of species of oak over my career, but that's one I never have, and it'd be a lot of fun to do that.
So we have Vinny here has a question about your working experience with anybody that's tried to either you've worked with them and they've had an undesirable whiskey, or tried to kind of make you force your hand to put it out early and put your name on it. I don't know if you can speak.
I can see her just saying, you know what, I ain't doing it, guys.
Have you said no, not doing it?
Yes, to answer that question, that is a definite yes, and I'm not going to name names.
Sure.
But
I wouldn't expect you to.
Yeah, there quite early on in my career, there was some kind of when the whole accelerated maturation thing was a thing. Everyone was trying to mature.
I'm so glad they're done with that crap.
Oh God, me too. I felt like my job was to kind of try and save these people from themselves.
Sure.
And if I couldn't do that, then I just stopped working with them. I would fire them essentially, and we have different visions. I feel like anybody that wants to use my name and cares about quality and it's like really committed to that I'm, and if I've genuinely worked with them, that's one thing. And I'm not saying we always get it right. I mean, I've already talked about the issues with the Magnus cigar blend from 3 or 4 years ago, but if they just kind of want to use me for sales, I'm like, no. I mean that. Yeah. I mean, I'm just I feel like how shall I say this? My own mentor was such a stickler for quality, and and probably I'm like even more anal than I am, and I got a lot of that from him, and but I think it shows, and to me, when making a product is obviously we all have to make a living and such, but it's more, I'm not getting rich off of this. It's more, but because I see it as an art form, and I like creating something that kind of people want to come back for more, a second or a third pour, and don't always achieve that. I recognize that, but that's really huge. And yeah, I don't work with people that don't really share that vision.
Not going to put your name on it. So to kind of tag onto that, let's go the opposite direction. If we were to say, hey, these are some people that I know are up and comers, that rising stars, what would they look like? Chris Blankenship's wondering who they are. And are you able to name them, who you think might be like, hey, look out for this distillery moving forward?
I hate to say this. I'm probably the worst person in the world to ask that question for, because not that I don't care. I just get, kind of in my work life, I just kind of get focused on what I'm doing, if that makes sense. And the way that I learn about things is by watching, like you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get a chance to really learn about that every day. I'm focused on what I'm doing, and maybe that's not always a good thing. Maybe I should be more aware of those things. But I kind of look to the bourbon YouTube community to find out what's out there. Because I don't really have time to go out, to the stores,
Sure.
At the shelves myself.
So moving on to the Murray Hill Club. I think
right.
that is our last one for the evening.
Yes.
The special release number, I think this is number 4.
Yep.
4.
I got to be honest with you, I was tickled to death when I was able to get a hold of this thing. This is quite the bottle. If you want to go ahead and get into that one.
And it's like coffee. It looks like coffee.
Yeah, super dark.
Oh yeah, it's dark. Yep. So that's I don't know if you want me to just kind of talk about kind of like in general the Murray Hill special.
Well, I wouldn't mind, because I don't know much about it behind the what is correct. I wouldn't mind learning about that.
So that kind of makes me just quickly want to talk about Murray Hill Club in general. And when Joseph Magnus started in 1892, Murray Hill Club was one of their main brands, and it was known as back in the day, at the turn of the 19th century, the early or the 1890s and 1900s. So it was a famous brand at that time, and so when I came to work at Magnus 13 years ago, they wanted me to recreate that brand. Well, I didn't really have anything to go on except for these turn of the century advertisements, or these ads and newspapers and such that they had found that talked about what this whiskey was like, and so it would say things like, or the ads would say, Murray Hill Club, tones the tummy, and I don't know, cheers up the heart. I mean, well, it's never toned my tummy, but that's another another issue.
Say that, you remind me of like that. That's what a Care Bear would say.
Exactly. They makes all these health claims, or My favorite was if love is the fatal termination, or if marriage is the fatal termination of a disease called love, then Murray Hill Club whiskey is the panacea to cure all of your marital woes. Essentially, so it's like, well, pardon my language, but how the fuck do you create a whiskey based on just that? So,
that is awesome. That is awesome.
So anyway, the regular Murray Hill Club, I decided to turn into the legal category of blended bourbon, or if you see it in the TTB, it's bourbon, a blend. But anyway, you're allowed to, or you can use so much, actual bourbon in it and some other things. And I wanted to kind of stick to the spirit, if you will, of the original brand, but because it was a blended whiskey. But for the regular Murray Hill Club, I just say, like in a 18 barrel blend, I'll use maybe 1 barrel of light whiskey, and the rest of it is like 11 or 12-year-old bourbon, 21% MGPs. So anyway, how do we get from there to here? So back in the day, I think I came out with this 9 years ago. So the first one I think was 2017, batch 1. And I kind of felt like, I'd already done the Joseph Magnus cigar blend, and I thought, well, what could we do that's interesting, and kind of keep to the integrity of the original brand from the 19th century, so I thought, well, why don't we do a special release? And so, in general, every Murray Hill Club release, it's a blended bourbon technically. But I don't necessarily follow the same recipe that I do for the regular Murray Hill Club. I tend to always kind of use like the best of the best components I've got for it. And I, my proportions are not always the same. And so for Murray Hill Special number 4, the base of that one was 8 years old and 21% MGP, and then I had some 17-year-old 21% rye bourbon MGP that came from a Q yeast recipe, and that's a whole thing we could get into later. But anyway, it's not the usual yeast strain that's used for MGP, or at least not today. It was like back when Four Roses and MGP were co-owned under Seagram's, but it's a very unusual yeast strain that you find out of MGP today. And this is a good case for a good moment for me to talk about. I remember an earlier question about kind of knowing when, when like a batch is ready. So I put these into Calvados cask that I've got a source out of France, one of my master blender mentors. I tend to source barrels from him. I'm going to keep that one anonymous because I don't want that getting out there, or other people to discover it. Sure. But anyway, so when I put this into the Calvados cask, I was about 2 months into it. I thought, so I would have put that in like a late November 2023, and 2 months in, say in January,
Well, my God, this is so great. It's just it had a lot of apple notes to it and such, and I got greedy with it, and I should have had it pulled when I thought it was perfect. Instead, I thought I gave it another 6 weeks, and while I'm not saying this is a bad bottle by any stretch, but it's not. Why if y'all had the benefit of tasting what I tasted 6 weeks prior to when I pulled this, it was a whole other animal. I think it could have arguably been one of the best things I've ever done. And I got,
I think this is a great batch to begin with. I mean, I had dark fruits, and I get almost like a pear. Maybe I get that from the Calvados, but it's a great it's a great bottle. And that's an interesting story on the Murray Hill. Nevertheless, I never knew that story, so that's great
for sure.
What I find about this one, just real quick, is the apple to me is a little muted now. I'm finding that the oak presence of the Calvados cask is a little too prominent.
Okay.
And again, if y'all hear that I'm fired tomorrow, you'll know what happened.
You know what? We can sit there and say we got
Nancy fired.
Yeah, we got Nancy fired.
But
you know what? We'll collect we'll do a collection for you.
It's in.
All right.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Pass around the plate.
Actually, if that happens, it looks like we're gonna have a fourth co-host.
So
I'll be looking for a job. So
hey, Aaron Howard would say he can help you mortgage your house. If you have any trouble there, Nancy, he said that he'd mortgage your house if
he mortgaged his house for
mortgage his house if you would finish the Mizunara oak barrel.
Yeah.
But Hack and Mac, they would like to know if you're willing to offer about the Broad Branch upcoming plans. Is that something you could talk about?
yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I just had this conversation with them today. They've just been waiting for the labels to come out for that, and I'm getting ready to leave for London in a couple days, and so to work on a secret project. Wink, wink. When I get back from the UK, we're going to start promoting that.
Okay.
But that blend is something I worked with them. It was back last July, but it's kind of based on their Anna and Natalia Fragakis. Their father actually was a student of mine 11, 12 years ago.
Okay.
And he unfortunately he passed. And so this blend that we did together was kind of like, to like an honor.
Blend and
honor him and such. So it's a really special thing. And I feel really tremendously honored to be part of that. But yeah, that'll be coming out. I'm hoping in the next few months. Once those damn labels get.
Yeah. Well, you had mentioned earlier in this interview, Nancy, as far as you're really deep into your work, and you kind of rely on Whiskey Tube on as far as what's the trending brands out there. And I'm going to tell you right now, we just got back from the Spillway event, and that was the winner, I think, unanimously through a lot of channels, through a lot of people. That Broad Branch hazmat ride that we got, that was the winner of that weekend.
Wow, that's so a few people have asked about distillation. I actually helped.
Well, that explains everything.
Shocker.
That explains why everybody loved it so much.
I had helped with the kind of dial in the fermentations and distillation there at Broad Branch.
with the father that's now.
Oh wow,
John.
that was above and
So
beyond the best whiskey that everybody said Broad Branch. You ask anybody, they'll say Broad Branch was the winner of that weekend for sure. So
I think that is so cool. Well, cheers to that, man. I'm just like stoked about that.
I bought a couple of bottles. I am holding that one tight. It's super. We're putting that up for our whiskey of the year, by the way.
Oh man! Oh God, that's well. And their current distiller Donald is he's not a student of mine in the way that that Luca is from 7-3, but yeah, he's taken some of my classes before, and so and he's a great guy, and so you know, I really kind of enjoy that working relationship we've got, and I love what they're doing. I'm really proud.
Oh yeah, even Chad agrees. Vinny says 100% agree on Broad Branch stealing the show at Spillway. They were definitely the winner if you were to identify one. But hey, you know what, man, it is 10:10 Eastern time. Here's what you need to be proud of, Nancy. This is the longest we've ever done an interview.
Yeah. And we could sit here for another hour.
That's cool. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, that's all you.
Yeah,
so we appreciate your time, your knowledge, and man, that was great. If you could maybe like emails that we are very interested in that, and then I appreciate the Joseph Magnus the latest blend on that one. I hope you don't get fired on that one. But, nevertheless,
well, I'm very happy to provide a sample of your something that's current, not from 2 years ago or 4 years ago.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you getting us current. So anyways, we'd love to have you back on down the road. You have fun across the pond and be safe. And we'll talk to you soon down the road. And we'll have you back on.
Very, very quick thing. Murray Hill Club Batch 5 has just been blended. And I'm actually drinking a little bit of it. It is a 11 to 20-year-old stock.
Oh, so why would you do that to it? You talk about FOMO. I mean, come on now. That's awesome.
So yeah, just be looking out for.
Feel free to send that in your sample pack. Good night.
You bet.
No, good God,
Jeff and I'll take care of it.
Yeah, whatever. You'll never see the light of day on that one. I'll drink it all. All right, Nancy. I appreciate you coming on tonight. We would love for you to return.
I'd love it.
Safe travels over there.
We still need to get you hooked up with Lisa Wicker from Whiskey Thief, because she was talking about wanting to get on a.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
Lisa and I keep on passing each other like ships in the night. I mean, we'll
get that set up.
I love her.
Maybe I'd love to do like a women of whiskey show, right? Get Lisa on there. Get Marianne on, and get Marlene Holmes on. I think that, I think that people will be extremely surprised what a vital role women play in whiskey, and they don't even realize it. So, to that, cheers to you all. Cheers to you, Nancy, for coming on, and we'll definitely have you on soon again.
Thanks for having me on, and it's just been an absolute delight tonight, and let's do it again. So,
very
awesome.
Cheers.
Right. Thanks, Nancy.
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.
Oh gosh,
what a blast!
That was
unbelievable. I could sit there for another.
And I know the chat can sit there and ask questions all night too. I'm sorry we had to cut it off, but I looked at the clock and it's like 10:15. This is the latest we've ever gone on. We got hashtags to do.
Yeah,
we have giveaways to do. So we are going to do that now. Here we go. We're gonna do this extremely quick. Let's do the hashtag. Nancy, I'm not even gonna allow anybody else to get in it. Here we go. That's how quick we're doing it. All right, so the winner is Oh, Mike! Nice. So
Cheers,
Mike wins some random samples. So we have that going on, and we're gonna get the super chat set up. And as you heard from Nancy, she is going to give it the latest. Thank God.
Yep.
Cigar blend, and all joking aside,
That is so generous of her.
Yes.
Oh,
She
she's
throw it in.
yeah, she's the queen of bourbon.
I know. I'm just saying.
So, anyways, that being said,
Awesome.
so I'm gonna get this set up.
Okay.
You guys want to
Yep,
chit chat yourselves?
I've got a little bit of an announcement here. We do have a special show coming up at the end of May. We've talked about it. We've kind of worked through how we're going to kind of do this. We're calling it the Bourbon and Ballz Roundtable.
Mhm.
We had asked Nancy, but unfortunately, like she said, she's going to be out of the country. But we've got a hell of a lineup for this show. We've got Bill McBrayer from, we all know Bill from McBrayer Legacy Spirits, Whitney Spence from Coalpick, Lisa Wicker from Whiskey Thief Distillery, Marlene Holmes from Milam and Green, Maggie Kimbrell from American Whiskey Magazine, and Mark Gillespie from Whiskey Cast Podcast.
Mhm.
And what we're going to do is kind of have a roundtable discussion of the current status or environment.
But it'll be wide open for questions.
It'd be
for
wide
anybody.
open. Yes.
There's no script.
No
There's
script.
no,
Yeah. Everybody's aware that
let them chat.
let them chat. Let's talk about it, see what's going on, what everybody's thoughts and opinions are. Everybody has their own kind of niche, so to speak. You got Bill McBrayer. He sources his whiskey. You got Whitney, who's in Western Kentucky. You got Lisa Wicker right there right in the heart of all the bourbon trail and everything going on. Marlene from out in Texas definitely will probably have a different perspective on things. And then we got Maggie Kimbrell, who writes about everything and everybody. And then you got Mark Gillespie, who has basically worldwide, tentacles, I guess, out there for all the Scotch and Irish whiskey, and as well as American whiskey and everything that's going on and how those might affect things. So,
Very diversified group.
yeah, it's our inaugural roundtable, I guess you'd say. Hopefully, if things go well, we'll have another session. That's our plan. It might not be a different topic, other than what we're going to do on the first one. But I want to get that out there, get in everybody's mind that, hey, coming up end of May, we're going to have a nice little different show.
But in classic Bourbon and Ballz fashion.
Exactly. It'll be a shit show.
There's no hey, here's your questions.
Right.
Here's the setup. Not a setup, but here's your lineup of interview questions. See these beforehand. It's going to be just improv.
It's going to be improv. Yeah. That's the way we do things. There's no sense having a script, because you veer off on all kind of different things and different topics. And that's the best way to do it, in my opinion, instead of a regimented sketch,
read this, answer this.
Right.
No, it's more natural.
Yep. So just wanted to get that out there for everybody so they can, and I'll be posting the month of May calendar as to the different, guests we're going to have on for the month of May. Just so everybody is aware. I mean, we're starting to book into August already. So
August, you need to slow down.
I know.
Because honestly, because we got to keep up with that.
Things.
Well, not only that, but you also got to keep up. Something current happens, we got to be able to react to it.
Right.
Yeah. With the right guests. So
and that's kind of why we hold kind of Tuesdays aside sometimes for special guests like we have with Nancy tonight. We won't schedule a Tuesday unless it's somebody like a Nancy or something like that. Yeah. And if we need to juggle and make adjustments, we will. Okay. So.
All right, Jeff, check your Venmo if you would.
I will.
I'm about to get
this pony started.
Yeah, hold on one second. What
party?
In the world?
Pony party?
Hold on. What in the world would Tyler do here? What in the world?
Tyler?
Hold on.
Phone
Here.
friend.
He's got some funky stuff going on in this sheet. I don't understand what he's doing. Hold on.
But again, just a reminder, after this show, we're going to do a little bit of a bottle review. If you
Well,
weren't
we're going
here,
to record a video,
We're
so
gonna
we're
record
not
a
going to do
video,
the meeting
yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, so it won't be live.
yeah, we got the new Daniel Weller
the
spelt.
So this is their second release.
Yep.
The first, it's a wheated 94 proof. I think the first release, which obviously I've never tried. I don't know if anybody in chat has ever tried that or the spelt, but it was a not Elmer. I'm mixing Elmer. I think it's Emmer. EMMER
Yep.
edition. And but the spelt comes out of, I guess, a European wheat. It's very specialized, from small farming to like artisan bakeries, allegedly. So interested to try this out. Super thankful that Sazerac is thought about us to even
I think they put the wrong label on. I think they put the wrong address on it. Quite frankly, I don't know why they have us involved. I'm just saying, we trashed their last one.
We did. We killed their last.
You know what?
Yeah.
So they came back.
Honesty. We were honest about it, and
Yeah.
and
Well,
who knows? I don't know if this is any good or not. We have no idea.
we have no idea.
Smells
So-
great,
It's
but
going to be better than the quadruple sixes.
it could be better than
But
4.6 for
the
sure.
spelt wheat. So here we go.
Yep.
Weller spelt wheat, incredibly unique, and
MSRP is $549.99. MSRP. Well, I don't know. I don't even know what this is going on secondary.
is.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I haven't even looked.
So, but next week somebody else is going to be able to try that if they want
That's
to
right.
test it out.
We're going to do the review tonight. Like Charlie said earlier, we're going to split it in fourths. We're going to do the three of us, and the other fourth will go to Super Chat winner for next week.
Okay. Big super chat next week.
Yep.
If anybody wants to get in to try that, the spelt wheat from Weller.
Yep. Next week. Let's see what else we got. Oh, a couple festival information for you. The Bourbon on the Banks. There are very, very limited twilight tickets available. That's that last 2 hours of the festival. I think they're like $35 or $50 a piece.
Okay. So come in and catch.
You come in and
some
catch the last
distillers at
couple
the
hours.
end,
Yeah.
Hang out
For the after
crew.
show. Yeah. But that is practically sold out. The Kentucky Bourbon Festival, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, is sold out. They sold out the VIP like in minutes. The first time they opened it up.
That always goes quick.
It goes quick. Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta say, I don't know. Never mind. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Can you do that?
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I rather spend my money on Bourbon the Banks. I'm just being honest.
I get it.
And we've said that before, and it's no secret. If you're going to
Like,
spend the money,
Kentucky Bourbon Festival is a shit show.
it can be for sure.
can
Test
be,
a
it
lot
is.
of different bourbons.
You do. And
man,
but
it's
it's a bottle flipper show is what it is.
Yeah, if you
really.
don't. Yeah, it's
If you're not a VIP, you don't get any good bottles. That's just.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I
no,
mean,
that's true. If you're not, you don't pay the $800 to get in that thing.
Well,
You
that's
might as
where
well forget
VIP
it.
sells out, but
Yeah.
still, you can meet a lot of cool people.
Oh,
no,
absolutely.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So, all right, we got Venmo.
Yes.
not.
Venmos, Mr. Vogelsang, give him 4.
Okay.
Gerald Romine, give him 2.
Which I do appreciate you guys doing. Venmo, by the way, it helps out the channel.
Immensely.
So believe it or
YouTube
not,
don't take
because-
40%.
Correct. All right.
Corey, give him 1.
Okay.
Christy Romine, give her 2. And that looks like all the Venmos that I've gotten.
All right. Let me check my PayPal.
What else?
well, you know what? The if people come to the Twilight,
Oh, someone bought a hat.
Of the back. Nice,
Yeah.
sweet, dude. It's a sweet hat, man. Like,
Don't
it
touch
has-
my head.
Does it hurt your scalp?
No, just don't touch my head.
All right.
I'm just kidding. No, it's sweet.
It is a sweet cap, man. Like, you got the rusticness kind of like ripped up on the edges.
Yep.
But if people want to go to the Twilight on Bourbon on the Banks, they could then parlay that into the after party.
Yeah, there's an after party.
Yeah.
They have a band. They have a couple bands
and
going on, or
board,
hang out with us.
hotel,
And we'll
bottle
be
share.
bottle
Well, you're gonna
share.
break
That's
my
where it's at.
Yeah.
So
Well-
even if you can't make the whole thing, go to the Twilight, meet some people, and then come to the bottle share.
Well,
That's where the honestly, like at Spillway.
That's right.
I mean, the bottle shares were. What do you need, bro?
nothing. I'm just trying to see.
Yeah,
We're gonna do some of this camera bit. I'm tired of doing
I'm
this.
going to take him to the optometrist tomorrow.
No, it's not that. I'm just this camera in front of the monitor. I wish you guys could see what I see.
I get it.
It's a pain.
I understand. So
All right.
what can I help you with? How can I support you? Crickets. Crickets. Charlie.
But one more time, shout out to Nancy. Very much appreciate her taking her time tonight to come out and
Yeah.
All right. So we got hold on. I want to go through super chat and thank everybody real quick.
Yeah.
So my
Great
apologies.
idea.
All right, real quick. I'm gonna stop sharing real quick. Hold on. Okay. All right.
Repost
Very good.
ponies.
Mr. Chris Barlow, excited to hear the nerdy episode. Yes. I know you're not talking about us, but you're talking about
Thanks,
Nancy.
Chris.
So thank you for the super chats there. Appreciate that. Mr. Scott
Mindrabo.
Linderman, thank you for the 2 super chats there. I appreciate you, and hopefully you come back next week. Martin Cox, cheers to you. Thank you for the super chat. Mr. Whiskey Nose Marty, hope you guys are having a good stream over there. Thank you very much. Bradley Booper, you get 4 over there. Yes, Gandhi, it is amazing how generous Nancy is with her time and knowledge.
Oh my
Yes, I appreciate both.
Right.
You are
100%.
yeah, you are correct. Very good. Jeremy Dirks, hashtag Nancy. Yes. West Virginia Bourbon guy. Yes, the samples. Thank you very much, brother. Chris Blankenship. Yeah.
Nancy.
Yeah, we are gonna get
You
samples
don't know
from
what
Nancy.
you're going to get.
Mustang
Nancy.
653. Thank you very much. Samples from the Nancy. Or not from the Nancy. Like she's like a noun.
Well, he
But
did
yes.
say the Nancy in all
Yeah.
caps.
So John,
Frank, one of our newer patrons. Great job, y'all.
Yep.
Another great interview. Thank you very much. And then we have Bard Distilling on. I'm excited about Bard. The fact that she used to be a NASCAR racer. That's to me, it's awesome.
Sweet.
Miker, nice, brother. Missed the interview. Definitely gonna go back and watch the interview. Yeah, there's a lot of information out there. Miker, I think you're a late add-on, so I will put you on here
A little
for
bit more of this. This
hold
one's
on here.
really good.
That's really
Is Frank in here?
Ah,
good, Frank.
Yeah. Yep. I got Frank in here, so I got to add Miker on here. Mike R.
I'm going to proportionalize this out. I'm trying to take it away from you, but looks a little bit more aesthetic.
All right, very good.
Let's do this.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, I would encourage you to go back and watch it for sure. So, all right, here we go. And we are way overdue.
Yep. Thank you guys for hanging on. I
yeah.
know it's a long night. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's an off night for us, but
It is.
yeah,
But yeah,
you guys
how often
showed
we
up.
get
right.
Nancy Fraley to
Oh,
show
yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Hey, here we go. Weller's still holding with us.
Waller wants to go to bed.
No, nobody wants.
Pressing the wrong button because Waller won't. He's about to break my leg.
Run those ponies,
Weller,
brother.
Jesus.
Come on.
Charlie putting
What's
his
out,
hand.
man?
He's gonna break my leg.
No,
One,
better not. As long as he doesn't gas us, I'm okay with it. Breaks your leg. I'm
Frank,
fine.
we can't wait either. It's going to be one hell of a night. That's Bourbon on the Banks.
Oh yeah.
For certain.
All right, here we go. Is anything going on in chat that I need to be aware of before? Like, am I telling us, "Hey, idiot, you forgot me"?
Let me look. No, just that Miker said he loved that Chad putting his hands on your head he loved that.
You see Charlie.
Yeah.
Are we clear? Ready to go?
Looks like we are good to go. Yes,
All right,
sir.
if we happen to miss you, we apologize. We'll get you on Thursday.
What is the deadline for the Derby pick?
Well, technically, get it in by 6 o'clock on Saturday if you could.
There you
It
go.
timestamps everything, so don't like
Wow.
put it after post time.
the race.
Yeah.
Like I'll know if you did that. So
Yeah.
yes, I guess
Yep.
anytime before the race starts, but it timestamps everything. So
Here we go.
that we're trying to talk. Oh, in honor of the Derby.
Yep.
This is we're doing this. The horse races. So yeah.
Yeah, Nancy said that she would love to see us do an episode with Lisa Wicker just by herself. She's one of my personal heroes.
Oh.
We did do a show, about almost a year
It's
ago
when
now.
I think it was like the second week that she
She just got into
the
Whiskey
Thief from
right?
Widow Jane.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think,
so.
yeah,
She'll have a lot more to talk about now.
Yeah, she would.
Right.
But Nancy and Lisa were they took over kind of our chat for a little while.
Yeah.
And that's when we were like, hey, we need to get you two on a show together.
Awesome.
But yeah, Nancy will definitely work on that. And like I said, try to get both of you on at the same time if we can.
She is a talent.
She is definitely.
All right, here we go. We got 30 seconds left. We got I wish I could be one of those people that can do like the horse race thing, that almost like like an auctioneer guy who sits there and
Coming around the bend.
that's horrible.
Why? Oh, you want to be like an auctioneer or like somebody that can,
Like right now, bourbon.
that can be a.
Yeah, so we got 10 seconds left. Here we go.
Yeah, C.A. Scotty's falling behind. He was in the lead. Now
I'm
it
pretty
is
tall, 4 legs of the horse.
Miker coming up there.
All right,
Miker's
there we go.
coming up. Bourbon Sean. Who's it going to be?
Marlowe?
Sandy?
Keith?
Miker.
He holds
Miker.
on. That's pretty exciting, actually. I like that.
Yeah.
So Keith Landon wins the Nancy samples.
Miker, man, what happened? He just kind of like pulled a hammy or something and fell
Yeah, very
back.
good. So,
Man.
all right, boys and girls.
To see another
Again,
race.
there's no Google Meets. You can use our Google Meets if you know it. You can go on there, but we won't be on there. We got to record a video, so we will not be on. And then I'm about to do the outro. It's not fixed. I'll fix it for Thursday. We've had some newbies plus some upgrades, so I appreciate all that. I'll get it fixed for Thursday, but nevertheless, for Jeff, Chad, and myself, we will see you guys on
Thursday.
Cheers,
Bard
y'all.
Distilling.
Yep, see you guys.
Kim, see you guys.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, hey,
Can't.
Al.
Keith, are you here? You got to do the mailbox.
That's right.
Ooh, good call.
If he's not here, then we'll do the mailbox on Thursday.
Damn, Keith always wins. Yeah, I know, Mike.
Always.
I don't think he's here.
Mr. Mom. Hey, ain't seen
Mr.
you in a
Mom.
while. Welcome, buddy.
And cheers to everybody that we missed.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. We get So I don't see Keith in here. We'll get him on Thursday and we'll have him pick the box or pick the mailbox code. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. We shall see you.
Thanks.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, everybody. Hold on.
Maybe.
We're out.
All right, there we go.
There's shit everywhere.